Hello, everyone. Let me first ask you if the audio is okay. Last week I had a little problem, but I know how to fix it if you can't hear me. So, do you hear me? I'm guessing you don't. Oh, sounds good. Okay, thanks, Nick. Um, yeah, last week I had some trouble with this hub gadget, but it seems to be working okay tonight. So great. Thanks. I'm so glad that Nick is here and James and Nicholas or Jay. I don't know. Jay Nicholas Gray. I'm glad to meet you. Abraham. Yeah. So great. This is wonderful. I'm glad you're all here. Um, yeah. So I'm just going to take a moment to um, kind of check in with you and let you know that we will be going over to Zoom after this meeting is finished. I'm going to grab the link and put it in the box for us. So that link will be in the chat box, and you'll need that when we finish this part of the meeting and go over to Zoom. So, yeah. When we get to Zoom, I hope all of you will join over there. It's just an opportunity to see one another and actually talk to one another. So that'll be great. I just want to kind of give you a heads up sorry, my nose itches. When we get ready to do the meditation, I think I'm going to scoot out of the way and let you just look at the altar if you want to, just up to you. But I think the Buddha is much nicer to look at when you're meditating. But, maybe you'll close your eyes and it won't matter anyway. So, let me invite 3 sounds of the bell. And you know what? One thing I did not prepare for. Hold on. I'm going to leave you for just a second. I'll be right back. Just when I think I've got everything prepared, I discover I didn't have my program. So I have the contemplation almost memorized, but I sometimes don't trust my memory. So it's good to have a backup. So I'm going to invite the bell and then we'll do our contemplation. And in the meantime, if you want to continue to check in and chat with one another in the chat box, that'll be fine. Contemplation before sitting. The Sangha is invited to go back to our breathing so that our collective energy of mindfulness brings us together as an organism, going as a river with no more separation. Let the whole Sangha breathe as one body, generate peace as one body, be free as one body. Let us transcend the boundaries of a delusive self, liberating ourselves from the superiority complex, the inferiority complex, and the equality complex. We are aware that the happiness and suffering of all people is also our own happiness and suffering. We see ourselves in all people and all people in ourselves. We are one with those caught in situations of oppression. We are also one with the oppressors. We are one with the wise and good people who are present everywhere in the world. We are one with those who are able to embrace the whole of this world with their heart of love and their two arms of caring action. We are a people with enough peace, joy, and freedom to be able to offer fearlessness and the joy of life to living beings around us. We see that we are not alone. The love and the joy of great beings who are present in this world are supporting us, not allowing us to drown in despair, and showing us the way of understanding, compassion, and right action. So I invite you to get comfortable. If you're sitting in a chair, you want to have your feet on the floor and not cross your legs. Hands can rest on your thighs or in your lap. The meditation that I've chosen to do today is from Thich Nhat Hanh's book, The Blooming of the Lotus. And it's a short meditation that I think you probably will recognize because it's we've sung it. Breathing in, breathing out, sitting like a mountain, that same thing. And so, as usual, there will be a couple of sentences and then a word or two to think about. I always like to say before there's a meditation with any kind of visualization in it, for instance, in this meditation, we will think about a flower, a mountain, water. Some people are really good at getting an image in their minds, but that's really not essential. If it happens, fine, and if it doesn't, it's good to simply call to mind the feeling of whatever it is being discussed. So the feeling of being in a mountain, thinking of yourself sitting strong on the earth, a really beautiful part of the earth, open to all the elements, just letting everything flow by, clouds, rain, thunder, whatever happens, really doesn't bother the mountain. It's just there. So if you can get a feeling of it, that's wonderful. If you get a picture, beautiful. But if not, don't worry about it. In meditation, we never, ever want to go to that place where we criticize ourselves or say, oh, I'm not good at this. And just want to let go of all those kinds of judgments. And then never minding whatever happens. And if your mind drifts to something else, when you recognize that you've drifted, just come back to your breath. Come back to the sound of my voice, perhaps. So, when you're ready, if you like, you can gently close your eyes. And I'll invite 3 sounds of the bell. 1, we'll begin our meditation. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. In, out. In, out. Breathing in, I see myself fresh as a flower. Breathing out, I feel fresh. Flower, fresh. Flower, fresh. Breathing in, I see myself as a mountain. Breathing out, I feel solid. Mountain, solid. Mountain, solid. Breathing in, I see myself as still water. Breathing out, I reflect all that is. Still water, reflecting. Still water, reflecting. Breathing in, I see myself as space. Breathing out, I feel free. Space, free. Space, free. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am water reflecting what is real, what is true. And I feel there is space deep inside of me. I am free, I am free, I am free. Thanks for sharing that meditation with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I wanted to read a little bit tonight from this book, Peace is Every Step. We actually read this book together some time ago, and I have read it more than once. And I like to just kind of open the book because there are all these little relatively short essays. And so sometimes when I just open the book, it just comes right to the exact spot that I wanted or needed to read. So the thing that kind of presented itself to me tonight is a passage in this book called Non-Surgery. Here's what he has to say about it. Western medicine emphasizes surgery too much. Doctors want to take out the things that are not wanted. When we have something irregular in our body, too often they advise us to have an operation. The same seems to be true in psychotherapy. Therapists want to help us throw out what is unwanted and keep only what is wanted. But what is left may not be very much. If we try to throw away what we don't want, we may throw away most of ourselves. Instead of acting as if we can dispose of parts of ourselves, we should learn the art of transformation. We can transform our anger, for example, into something more wholesome, like understanding. We do not need surgery to remove our anger. If we become angry at our anger, we will have two angers at the same time. We only have to observe it with love and attention. If we take care of our anger in this way, without trying to run away from it, it will transform itself. This is peacemaking. If we are peaceful in ourselves, we can make peace with our anger. We can deal with depression, anxiety, fear, or any unpleasant feeling in the same way. So this book was published in 1991. And it's kind of a compilation of things you may read in other books. But I just wanted to point out that even though this book was written quite some time ago, it still has a lot of relevance, at least to me. The one thing that I might question a little bit is what he says about therapists. He says therapists want to help us throw out what is unwanted and keep only what is wanted. Well, that may be true about many therapists, but I have some friends who are therapists, and I know that even though they may have been trained in this way, they now work at helping people transform the things that are bothering them, the things that are causing trauma or anxiety or depression or whatever it is. They're not trying to eliminate those things, but help people learn how to manage, how to make peace with it. So I think it's important, just as the Buddha told us, to always check with our own experience instead of just taking his word for whatever he said. He was speaking from his experience. And his experience is very relevant and powerful, as is the experience and relevance of Thich Nhat Hanh. But I still think it's important for us to remember that these teachers are guides. They're pointing in a certain direction. And it's important for us to pay attention and recognize when our experience maybe speaks to us in a slightly different way. In no way does that negate the teachings. It simply, in my view, helps us to kind of take ownership of our own path, our take ownership of our experiences and learn from them. So that's my take on therapists. But everything else he says, I think, is very relevant. If we think about any kind of calamity, disease, there's always somebody wanting to get rid of it, cut it out, annihilate it. It's very much that us versus them mentality, which is so prevalent nowadays in our society. So, yeah, I think transformation is needed. So he says we can transform our anger, for example, into something more wholesome, like understanding. I think we can transform racism, bias, all of these unwholesome things that are within us with understanding, which leads to compassion, which is very much needed nowadays. I'm interested to know what you think about that. Maybe you'll share your thoughts when we move over to Zoom. So I've left us a lot of time, I know, because I guess I just didn't have that much to say tonight. Anyway, let me give you also not only the Zoom link, which you hopefully see. Now it's at the bottom of the chat box that I'm seeing. And I also want to encourage you to donate if you can. And an easy way to do that is to donate mindful to 43211. That connects you with a platform called Stripe. You can also donate via PayPal, which many people do. And I don't want to say too much about donating because I know that you know we need your donations in order to keep the meditation center going, in order to make sure that we can still do these meetings online until hopefully someday we can go back to the meditation center and be present together. So thank you in advance for your donation. So let us go over to Zoom. I will end this stream in a little while. I'll leave it up for a few seconds, maybe half a minute, and then I will meet you over in Zoom. So bye for now.